club. That's great. So what we're going to work on today is we're going to work on some core stuff, kind of functional core though, working you through your golf swing. And we are going to, the good thing about doing what we're doing today is without, being at the range and swinging full speed, we can really get an awareness around our core strength and stability that we normally wouldn't do when we're playing. Because when we play, we're just kind of going and trying to get the ball in the hole, not worrying about core position. So we'll walk you through some stuff today. A lot of the stuff is going to be familiar, and hopefully I can connect some dots for you, help out with your back, help out with your swing, help out with your core strength and stability. So let me grab my club. All right. So what I want to start with is something, again, that we've done in the past, but we're going to get in your 5-iron posture. So normal 5-iron posture, and what you're going to do is you're going to put your club out in front of you, and you're going to try to put a little bit of pressure into your hands or put a little bit of pressure into the club. If you put a little pressure into the club and into the ground, you should feel potentially that your core is turned on a little bit. Now from there, if you watch, I'll kind of come close so you can see. I want you to tilt your pelvis. So you're going to arch your back forward and then tilt your pelvis back, and arch your back forward and tilt your pelvis back. And so I want you to do about 10 of those. And just do 10 and take a break. Now this might feel a little bit sore, so be judicious and be careful. If you feel like going to the end range a little bit, and so I want to make sure that we're extending and flexing and getting that full range of motion. I just want to change my screen so I can see everyone too. Good, and once you do 10, take a break. We're going to just do 3 sets of that. All right, so now go ahead and do it again. We'll go ahead and, again, really arch forward and then tilt backwards. And then arch forward and tilt backwards. And then arch forward and tilt backwards. Good. Arch forward and tilt backwards. Good. 2 more. Forward.
Roger Brody, not so much hip hinging as pelvic tilting. So I don't want to see your butt moving. I just want to see your pelvis moving. If that makes sense. A little bit better, right? So like the cat-cow. So tuck your tail and stick your butt out.
All right, good. 1 more set of this. So let's just do 5 this set. So we're going to tilt forward and tuck your tail back underneath you. Now tilt forward and tuck your tailbone underneath you. Now when you tuck your tailbone underneath, like Shannon was saying, you should feel your glutes really squeezing when you tilt underneath. So forward and back, forward and back. Good, take a break. Now, again, some of this should be familiar, but if it's not, we'll review. When you tilt your pelvis forward, you're going into an end position of your spine there. And when you tilt your pelvis back, you're doing an end position of your spine here. In the middle of those two is a neutral position. The neutral position is ideally where you want to be all the time going through your swing. As I said to you guys before, this is what I'm working on consistently, because as I go through my swing, I'll exaggerate it though. I start in a neutral position, and as I go into my backswing, I a lot of times arch, and then I go down and kind of arch, and then my back is just crushed. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to find neutral, like in your setup position. And this might feel different to some of you guys, but this is where you should be at setup position. So here's how we find neutral. You're going to put your club here. You're going to start by tucking your pelvis under all the way. You're going to arch your back all the way. And then you're going to go halfway in between the two. So I'll do it one more time. Arch all the way, tilt all the way, and then find in between. Okay, let's try it one more time. Now we're going to do the opposite. This is actually how you should do it. So you're going to tuck it underneath, you're going to tilt it back, and then you're going to tuck it underneath halfway through. So tuck it underneath, arch back, and then tuck it halfway. That's neutral. So now, let's actually set up with our club as we normally would. Instead of pressing down, just get in your posture. And then I want you to just go through that drill. So we're going to tuck underneath, arch, and then find halfway. And that's where our neutral position is. And that's where we should be starting our golf swing. Okay, now take a break, shake it out. I want you to get back into your posture. Take the club across your body like this. Get into your 5-iron posture, find neutral. And now let's just hang out there for a sec. Now, I'm staying in neutral, but I'm gonna slowly take a backswing. So watch my pace here. I'm gonna across, I'm gonna keep my abs engaged. I'm gonna slowly go into my backswing. And then without my arms, keeping my abs engaged, I'm gonna slowly start to work my way forward. You don't need to go all the way through, not like a full swing. Just do 1 or 2 reps, take a break. Again, the idea of this is slow, deliberate practice. Again, like all of us, if we had an opportunity to go out and play right now, we wouldn't do any of this. And so part of this is working on this stuff because we don't have another option. But this, I believe, for most people is where they hurt themselves in their back, because instead of getting neutral and going backwards and staying neutral and then staying neutral and going through, they kind of come back and they probably arch their back up, and then they come through and they tilt forward and then they arch again at the end. And the more motion you have through here, generally through your swing, that's how your low back's going to get beat up. So let's do this. We're going to do a drill. We're going to do 5 reps, and I'm keeping it lower amount of reps on purpose because I'd rather do perfect reps than just do 100 of these. So let's get into our neutral pelvis position. And we're basically we're going to take a full swing at about 1/4 speed, right? So watch me do one. It's going to be here without my arms. So I'm going to stay neutral. I'm going to go slow back. I'm going to work my way forward. And I'm going to stand up tall as I'm pretending I'm finishing. So let's do it all together. Let's get into posture, and I'll talk you through it. Find neutral. We're going to go slow back, transferring weight, rotating onto our back side, still feeling our abs engaged. Good. We're going to start to transfer our weight forward and rotate through. Abs are working. And then we're going to stand up tall. Squeeze. Let's go back and do it again.
Mark, rotate. You need to get into your 5-iron posture. You're standing up too tall.
Yeah, so Mark, pretend you're going into like you're getting.
That's it.
Yep.
Yep.
So now rotate back in your swing. I'm still feeling abs engaged. My hips are working here. Push forward, rotate through, stand up tall and squeeze. Do it again. Pelvis neutral, my abs are working. Good, rotate through. Good. Let's go ahead again. One of the things you might feel, a lot of people feel this, is when they start engaging their abs on their swing, they actually feel like their feet are working more and they're more grounded and their balance improves. So as your abs engage, it's weird, but you actually feel your feet start to work more. One more. Back. And then through. If you were to do this, and if you were to attach, like, let's say you had like a stretch band and you were to attach it in front of you and you had a resistance going back, what you would actually feel if you did it correctly, you would feel your abs working and your feet working. Those would be the 2 things that were moving you. And so we talked balance last time, but it's interesting if you put resistance up against you, what would actually do the work and do the motion. All right. Now, what we're going to do, if you have space, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to try to add arms. Okay? So we're adding another element to this. So I'll just watch me kind of do one. If we can see here, I'll do it from this view first. So I have my club down. I'm going to work abs, 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 but I'm getting in position here. My abs are still engaged. And then I'm coming through, abs are engaged. and I'm working slow and controlled through. Here's what's most likely going to happen. Just check this out before you guys do it, because this is what happens to me. Once I add my arms to it, my biggest thing I'm going to exaggerate is I want to do this at the top. I want to arch my back because my arms are coming up and I lose that position. So what I want to make sure that you guys do is even if your arms come up, don't let your chest come up. Try to keep the abs engaged, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get neutral. I'm going to work back, keeping my abs engaged. My arms are coming back. My abs are still engaged. And now I start tilting forward, abs, rotate through, and now finish across. Good. What you may notice here is that if you guys are really conscious of keeping this stable, what you might start to notice is you get to a point where your arms are doing all the work and trying to work through, as opposed to it being a very much a body type motion. That's what I've noticed. So let's do it again. We're going to come back with our arms, rotate, use our abs, set the club right, start rotating forward, abs engaged, and rotate through and squeeze. Let's just do one more here. All right, we're setting up, we're finding neutral. Good, we're rotating back, setting the club, transferring our weight forward, abs are neutral, coming through. Just to kind of give you guys some visuals, as it's been explained to me, you're basically at all times looking at keeping connected from basically the bottom of my logo into my belt buckle. So at no point should this position ever become shorter or longer. So as I take my swing backwards, that should be staying the same distance. And then as I come forward, it should be keeping the same distance. As opposed to what I think I run into, and I'll exaggerate it, I come back and then I increase the distance. And then as I come down, I decrease the distance. And then as I go through, I increase the distance again. That's going to be 101 for back pain. So keeping this thing connected the whole time. All right, so now let's break it down. We're going to go backwards a little bit to go forward. So we're going to go back into our 5-arm posture. We are going to get you into a position where from your waist down, nothing works. Nothing is going to move. Again, I'm hoping this is a review and hopefully you know what we're about to do. We're going to take our waist below and that's not going to work. We are only going to be allowed to rotate using our torso and our abs, right? So if I over rotate right now, what I'm going to feel is I'm going to arch at the back. I'm going to move at the hips. I want it to be only from my torso. So this is what it's going to look like. My feet are grounded. I'm in a neutral position. And I'm just going to twist. I feel right here like my abs are engaged, my core is engaged, and that's it. And then I'm going to come back to neutral. And then I'm going to go the other way. Abs are engaged, back to neutral. I don't want to see any tilting backwards. I don't want to see any swaying, no side bending. If you look at my club and my head, it's staying completely on one plane. I'm rotating through. I feel abs here. And then I come back. And then I'm going to go the other way and feel my abs the other way. Good. And again, we're going to do 5 each way. And rotating through. Good. And then rotating through the other way. If you feel like your abs aren't working, you're not doing it right. Feel like your ribs and your abs are really twisting and rotating. And as you do more of them, hopefully what you're feeling is you can continue to gain more range of motion because now your muscles are starting to do their job. Good, 2 more. And last one. Good, take a break. How does that feel? Does everyone feel good? Give me a thumbs up if it feels good.
Good work, Dwight. I saw a nice rotation. Greg, good job.
All right, so this time, this one's a little bit more challenging. This time what we're gonna try to do is the opposite. We're gonna take from for me, it's gonna be anything that's red shouldn't move. So my waist up. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try to move, and I'll do it from the side too so you can see, only rotating at my pelvis. So from here, you see I'm only moving my hips as opposed to moving from here. Now this one is harder for me. It'll probably be harder for you guys too. So you're just gonna try to twist at your pelvis. Now I can tell you the first thing that happens as I try to just move at the pelvis, just start trying it, is that I lose that neutral position. And I almost have to reset every single time. So for me, it's like get into neutral, rotate my pelvis one way, rotate my pelvis the other way, reset. Find neutral, rotate my pelvis back, rotate my pelvis forward. I'm exaggerating just so you can see me. Relax.
Mark, you need to get into your iron posture. It would almost be better if you bent over your table, right? And almost like affixed your hands and just moved your pelvis because you're moving too much upper body. Yeah, still too much upper body. We got to get those hips like stronger so you just have the ability to move them instead of your upper body. Keep trying. Good job.
So the reason why this is important, as Shannon was just talking about, we call that separation. So if we put like a kinetic, like a vest on you to see what's moving in your swing, you look at like the best golfers in the world, they go back, everything doesn't move at once. There's a sequence of it that once they come back here, the pelvis starts to move first, then the mid-back, then the arms, then the club. So in slow motion, what that would look like is the drills that we're doing, everything comes back, and then this goes first, this goes second, these come third, club comes last. If you don't have the ability to move the torso by itself or the pelvis by itself, what most likely would happen is you would come back together and you go through together, right? So that idea of separation is really what we're trying to look for in the swing. So remember, it's pelvis, shoulders, torso, arms, club last. Okay? So that idea of being able to do things separately and separating is huge. Most of us, like I can tell you when I did the K-Vest test the first time, I literally, like most of us, was the exact opposite. I get to the top, my club pulls down first, my arm second, then my torso, then my pelvis. So as opposed to getting to the top, pelvis goes first, torso goes second, arms are third, and then the club last with that lag position. So as we work kind of backwards, what we'll do just to kind of show you that is let's do that in slow motion, just so we can put it all together and you can see how we broke it down and put the pieces together. So what I want to do is everyone get with their club, get in a golf stance. And then what I want you to do is get to your top of your backswing, pause there. And now, just like we did that pelvis exercise, the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to think that your pelvis comes forward and pause. And then your torso comes forward. And then your arms start to go. And your club is still kind of behind you. Again, if this is like totally foreign to you, most likely it's not happening, right? So let's do that again. I'll do it from the side this time. Let's see if this view is better. So I'm going to go to my backswing. The first thing I'm going to do, watch my hips. My hips are going to move first. They're going to move first. My torso is going to move second. My arms are third behind me. And the club is last. Boom. So that's the sequence. Let's try it again. Try 2 or 3 at your own pace. Go real slow. So I'll walk you through it, but do it at your own pace. So get to your backswing. Now, let your pelvis start first. Think about your torso coming back second. Think about your hands coming third, and then the club fourth. So by the time you guys, in theory, everything is back to being square, the club should still be back here. If we did the test on you and your arms are going first, that's most likely when the club would be out in front and you'd kind of be one of those flippers. The club would be flipping out in front of you as opposed to club behind, creating that lag that we talk about. This is why not only the sequencing is important, but this is why being strong and having the ability to really, for us, initiate the swing with our lower body this way becomes super important. A lot of times for years, I had heard people say, oh, you have to swing with your legs and swing with your legs. And I never really understood what they meant until I started understanding the kinematics and sequence here, that really from here, the feeling should be arms are doing nothing. It's the lower body working in some capacity, whether you're a slider or a spinner, that this happens first. And the club is just a byproduct of everything else doing its job. All right, so let's finish up. Got about 5 minutes. What I want to do is let's go through 3 perfect golf swings here at slow speed. So I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to put it all together now. So let's get in your setup posture and find neutral to start. So let's get in your posture and find neutral, okay? Let's take a very, very slow backswing where we're keeping our neutral positions, where we're going to pause at the top. Then from there, I want you to initiate at your lower body first and pause. Then I want you to rotate your torso and pause. Then I want you to let your arms come through, and now let's finish your swing. Let's do it again. We're just going to do 3 of these. So set up neutral. Get into your backswing, slow, abs are staying down. Initiate with your lower. Torso comes second. Arms third, finish through. Let's just do 1 more.
Nice job, guys. Everybody's looking really good, but I can see.
All right, go ahead. Slow, controlled. Get into your backswing. Get to the top and pause. You're holding here. Lower body first. Torso second. Arms third. And going all the way through. Good. So like I said, we started by saying we're doing core today, which we did. What you guys can hopefully kind of see is how that works in your swing. One of the visuals that I think, or the feels to start to kind of think about is if I had a band in front of me if I had some resistance. So let's say either something's pulling me this way or somebody's pushing behind my club and I had to work hard to like get into my backswing. That's what the feeling should be, because if I had to really work to twist, I would feel my abs working to rotate, and I would actually feel my feet pushing into the ground. And that's really the feeling that we want. So sometimes going through those kind of slow swings as if someone was like pushing into my club and I really had to force myself to get back, all of a sudden you'll feel like your abs are working and your feet are working into the ground, and all that stuff that we've kind of thought about before, it just starts to happen naturally. So something to just kind of consider as you're going through. Just again, from my own experience, finding that pelvis position, and then as I get into my swing, like what I work on is like I'll try to find neutral, and one of the drills I'll do is I'll find neutral, and then I'll start by just taking half swings. Because if I start with full swings, I can't do it. So I'll find neutral and I'll just work on taking half swings. And I'll just do 5 from there. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll try to get a little bit, I'll take 3/4 swings. So I'm finding neutral, and then I'm just kind of getting up a little bit taller and working from there. So I'm not really, and then I'll go to try to more full swings, usually not even at full speed, but I won't just get out there and do this because I'll just go back to bad habits. So it's literally here, slow, half swing, staying neutral, then a couple more, a little bit more, and working in that pattern. So if you guys do struggle, if you guys have had some back pain in the past and you've done this today and it does feel like a little weird to you, these are the drills I'm doing at home right now. Dry swing, if you don't even need anything, it's literally what we just talked about at that speed. I'm in my living room just feeling my abs and glutes engage. And Justin, so it's a good time to kind of work through some of that stuff. Because again, if I had access to the course and the range right now, zero shot I'd be practicing this stuff. I'd be going hacking like everyone else. So there is a chance to kind of work through some of this now that you can't, so to speak.
Justin, maybe because I know we've got about 4 or 5 new people on, maybe just introduce yourself. I know our warriors know who you are, but some of the other people are like, who's this guy?
Yeah. So I'm Justin Rabinowitz. I am a founder of Strive to Move. We're in Warren and in Berkeley Heights. And, we basically work with adults that have been injured or have been injured in the past that are looking to not stay injured. We combine basically the strength and conditioning with the medical side of it. And we work with injured athletes. We work with a lot of golfers. So I've been doing this almost 10 years now. And Shannon and I, or more so Shannon, I was happy to help, started this Yards and Years program with many of these guys this year of just trying to implement some mobility exercises, some stability exercises so that we can hopefully let you guys play as long as we can healthily. I had back surgery at 26, so I'm 34 now, and I deal with the same stuff that a lot of people do. They say, oh, you're young, you don't know what we're talking about. I get it. Like, I'm still working through it myself to try to make sure that I can stay healthy and be able to play just like a lot of you guys are, because, a lot of us have, maybe the time to play, but if we feel like crap, we can't do it. So it's always kind of been my mission to make sure that everyone can do whatever they really want to do without pain or injury stopping them. So.
And you're also TPI 1 and 2 certified.
Yeah, so Titleist Performance Institute, I've done, level 1 and level 2 certification through their medical track. And I've obviously worked with Shannon quite a bit. And then I also am a student of Nick Bova, who teaches over at Hamilton Farm, who learned from George Gangas, who's like Matty Wolf's swing coach. So I've been exposed to a lot of different kind of swing philosophies in that way. So it's a fun game, understanding where everyone comes from. Everyone's got a little different spin on it, but it's been a fun journey trying to kind of learn and figure it out and then apply it. Really, I always start by applying it to myself and then see how it feels for me. Like I told you, like I'm working on some of this stuff too. And then I try to share what I feel and then distribute it out to kind of give everyone else some feels for themselves that might be useful. So.
Hey, Dustin, my name's Rich Costa. I just joined the meeting late, and you were just finishing up covering something about resistance, feeling resistance in the backswing, and then resistance, I guess, into the forward swing and the follow through. I had missed that, and being I just joined late, could you just real quickly just summarize what you were just going through on that?
Yeah, no, absolutely, because I think it's a good point. If you had an exercise band and you attach it to your club, that's one way to feel resistance. Or if right now, if you're there and you think that, let's say you're in your pool, and because in your pool or in sand or in mud or something, and you had to still get into your backswing, you would naturally create resistance in your body to be able to get to your swing and activate muscles. So most likely what would happen if you did it correctly, let's say you were in mud or something, is you would start to like really engage your abs and your feet would go into the ground, and all of a sudden you'd start to feel like, whoa, my abs are turned on, my feet are kind of stable in the ground, and that resistance would really be what you should most likely feel when you took it away. What happens with most people is they kind of get up to the tee and it's just, right? And so they're not using anything. They're not using any stability at all. The other thing too that we find is that if you create the stability in the right places, let's call it the abs and the feet, a lot of times the other things are kind of looser, right? So if you feel like your abs and feet kind of do their job, all of a sudden you don't feel like you're over gripping the club because you don't have to use your arms to do everything. So the idea, kind of the thought process of, Rich, if I was maybe standing behind you right now and I put my hand on your back of your shoulder and I put it onto your hip and I said, all right, now you rotate in your backswing, you would all of a sudden engage your abs and your feet and your glutes and all those muscles that we want to work. And so my thing is, if you practice a little bit like that, it might just cause you to activate some of the muscles that we know you should. Because if you think about it, if you think about some of the best guys in the world, most of them, like I'm 5'9", 200 pounds. I'm much bigger than Rory, but Rory can swing it a lot better than I can for a lot of reasons. But one of them is he just uses the things that he's got better than I do. He sequences better, he's got more mobility, but he uses his core, he uses his glutes in a way that allows him to actually hit the ball far, where guys like us, we might be strong, but we don't actually use what we've got. So the idea of kind of feeling that resistance a little bit really starts to allow us to use some of the muscles that we have that we probably don't use in our swing the way that you should. Does that make sense, Rich?
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Again, I like the visual of if you were in a pool. If you were in a pool up to your neck and you had to take a golf swing, what would that feel like? That would probably feel like things are working that normally wouldn't. If you were in a pile of mud, something like that. And we actually train some of our mobility drills, which we've done in Yards and Years, of like, if you guys remember, we did some mobility where we just brought our arm overhead. And then it was like, all right, think about your arm going through a pool. So you're activating muscles and stretching. Or we lifted our legs up and felt like they were pushing through something sticky. That allows you to create some stability in muscles without actually having to add any weights or resistance. So just a different way to kind of think about it and activate muscles, even if you're not lifting weights, so to speak.
All right, Justin, you're cutting into my time. My guys want some cardio now.
All right, I'm sure they're loving the cardio.
Dying, waiting for it.
Greg is already doing his own jumping jacks.
I know, right? Just so you guys know, for the new guys that joined, and thank you so much, all of you, for coming in. All of our sessions will be on our YouTube page, and that is the Bridge Fitness Center at Fiddler's Elbow CC. So the whole class, you can watch it on demand. It will be there. All of our classes moving forward, all of our cardio, our yoga, anything that we do live will be on YouTube. So put your clubs down, get your booties off the couch. Roger, Brody, come on, let's go. I know you're falling asleep on me, buddy. Justin, so just keep an eye on everybody because I'm going to go into some more like speaker view. And all right, so guys, we're going to get started. I've got some, we're going to go 1 minute on and we're going to go 20 seconds off, and we'll probably go 2 rounds today because we have 2 circuits. So let's just start off with a really nice, easy 30-second march. And let's see, here we go. So start marching. We're just going to march for 30 seconds, and we're going to get right into our circuit. So I just kind of want to get the body warmed up a little bit, even though we did a little bit of work today. We haven't really moved too much. So all of this cardio kind of can be low impact or higher impact. And really, I just kind of want to get your heart rate up. We talked about when the course opens up, are you going to be endurance-wise ready to walk if you need to? So we're going to start out with reverse lunges with a little rotation. So give me 20 seconds, and we're going to go right into that. So it's going to go reverse lunge. We're going to alternate reverse lunges. We're going to go for 1 minute. So 3, 2, 1, here we go. Either side, you start, right? So reverse lunge just as a step back. It doesn't have to be a big step. If you want to take those knees all the way down to the floor, you can. So what I want you to focus on, most importantly, is keeping your knees at 90 degrees as you step back, and your front knee behind your toe. We're rotating across the body because we're getting that core crunch. We're getting that little bit of rear hip tightness, so we're kind of stretching that as well right there. And again, because we're doing upper body and lower body, the heart rate is going up. So we want to try to stay within that 85% of our max heart rate. And your max is about 220 minus your age So let's stay within about, say, yeah, 85% of that. Rest. We got 20 seconds of rest.
Yeah, and that's a good point that I kind of didn't think about. You know, very, very possible and probable that they let the golf courses open. They may say you can take your own cart, or they might say you can only walk. So
right.
This actually is super, super relevant right now to kind of get a little cardio so you can walk if you have to.
All right, so we're going with one arm jacks. If you want to go full jumping jack, go for it. Right now, I'm just going to go one arm jack. That's your modification, but I want you to really reach across the body. Stick those legs out and reach. I want you to feel that in your obliques as you turn and reach. So we're going for a minute. We're alternating sides. Again, breathe. Don't you hold your breath. Keep your body nice and long. Long legs, long arms. But again, if you want to do jumping jacks, that's cool too. We started out with a workout this morning with 90 seconds of jacks. Woo, baby, that's a burner. So this is just a really nice long stretch through the lats, through my scap and my back, my shoulder blades. I'm feeling this. You guys have 10 seconds right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for 20. And then we have one more exercise in this circuit, and then we're going to run through that again. Awesome. 10 more seconds. Our next exercise is going to be like low box squats, right? So up, up, back, back. Now I don't want you to stay low if you can. You can do anything with your arms. 3, 2, 1. Let's go for a minute. So you're walking forward. If this is too much for you, just stand up straight. Totally fine, but just keep moving. It doesn't have to be a lot. If you want to take this a little bit farther, you can go really fast. So true, I know if you might want to step it up, but stay low booty, right? We're boxing out. So we're working on some of that hip strength, the glute strength, your core is tight. So just big boxes, right? 4 corners. Up, up, back, back. If you want to add a little punch, you can too. Up, up, back, back. You can switch legs if you want. I was leading with my right, and now I'm leading with my left. Got about 10 seconds coming up here. That's it, guys. Hang in there. Keep those squats nice and low and rest. We've got 20 seconds. And then we're going back to beginning with those reverse lunges. So hopefully you're kind of feeling that. Heart rate's up. Core is nice and starting to get a little taxed. And those legs. We're going to do some arms in the next set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Alternating reverse lunges with rotation. So this is an exercise that we do in the gym. Not even as sort of higher impact as this, but I would probably just have you do a split lunge with a rotation for control and balance. So this is just great. It's excellent work for your glutes. I keep telling my athletes that, you know, your glutes are the biggest mover in the body. If you don't have power in your glutes, your golf swing is not going to be at its optimal ability. So your power comes from, you know, your hips, from your glutes, from your hamstrings. We've got another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for 20. And then we've got that jack step with the reach. You want to keep this an active rest. Just keep moving a little bit. After this circuit, we'll take a minute rest. Here we go. And reach. So these are your jacks, right? So you're kind of like jack, 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 reach, reach. I can feel this all the way down in my hips. I can feel it in my obliques as I'm turning my core. And if you want to just kind of keep it nice and low impact, that's fine too. Just a really simple extension of the arm and leg. But like I said, you want to do full jumping jacks, go for it. This is your cardio program. So we want to kind of give you all different levels and hopefully give you a nice little cardio burnout. Now, Drew took my class last week or earlier this week, and he said that last Thursday was harder than my class. So I'm not sure what that says. When we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for 20. We've got one more with our low squat box set. Hopefully you guys are all hanging in there. Again, after this particular exercise, then we've got 1 minute of rest and then a new circuit. And then we'll also do a little bit of a cool down too to kind of stretch it out. So here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, box sets. Again, if you want to just keep this nice and easy, if you just want to do squats, that's okay too. But I want you to work on that glute strength, the glute stability. This is good for the quads. You guys are going to be carrying how many pounds in your golf bag? Go weigh that. And if you guys have to walk, which I know plenty of you have done before, but you know, it's one of those things where you guys have been sitting for at least a month now, maybe some of you not really doing a whole lot. So we just want to make sure that the body is ready so that you're not going to injure yourself. So that's what these classes are all about. Awareness, body awareness, awareness of the kinematic sequence of your swing. And we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for 1 minute. I'm gonna check in on everybody. Make sure you're still here. Woo, good job, guys. Yeah, Mark, hanging in there. Good to see you. All right, I love it. Grab some water. I don't know where mine is. All right, so we're gonna start out with some shoulders in our next circuit. We're gonna do different shoulder exercises for that particular move. Then we're gonna do squat pop with punches, and then we're gonna do a little side lunge with some triceps. So side lunges, little triceps. So we'll start out here in about 10 seconds, and we're just gonna start off with shoulder rotations, right? So back and forth. So 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going for a minute. So I want you to almost like you're doing these little rainbows. So palms are coming up, palms are going down. Good posture. I want you to make sure that you are a neutral spine. So we're tucking that tail. Nobody is in anterior position. I don't want your butts out, your belly's down. So really make sure you're tucking that tail, keeping your core nice and engaged, and we're just rotating those shoulders back and forth. So this is gonna burn. If this is too much for you, just kind of hang them out and do little circles. Moro, hang in there with me. I know you've got those tough shoulders. We've got about 10 seconds left in this minute. So I talk a lot and hopefully it helps the time go by. 3, 2, 1, and we've got to rest. All right, awesome. Shrug that out and now shake it out a little bit. Good job. All right, where are we at with time? Perfect. Okay. So I've got another, 10 seconds. We're doing little squats, come up and punch. And punch. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squat and punch. You can take this as fast as you want, or if you just don't want to squat that much, you can keep it nice and easy. Squat and punch. Squeeze that glute, a little turn. Again, this is sort of like that pivot finish of your golf swing. So we're going into a little bit of that sort of back swing and then a little bit of that front punch. Follow through. So, and then with a punching forward, we're getting some nice protraction, and then retract, protract, protract, protract. Awesome. So squat, squat, squat. Good job, guys. Hang in there with me. We've got another 20 seconds. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, and rest. Woo! All right. Awesome. Okay, so we've got 20 seconds, and then we're gonna do these little sort of lunge step outs. So I want you to really kind of jack those triceps. So we're keeping the shoulders in place. We're not swinging the shoulders. They're totally frozen, and all you're doing in your step out is just jacking those arms back, swinging from your elbows. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Step out and swing the elbows. So again, my shoulders are fixed. I'm lunging to either side. I'm making sure that knee is tracking over my toes, and I'm sitting back. So I'm loading my glute. And you can do this nice and slow. You can pick up the pace a little bit and just push. But my butt is going back. It's not, my back is not bending, my back is flat. And my triceps are already feeling it. I have no weight in them. So I'm really just kind of like lunging side to side. But again, that leg is going back. Make sure you're moving those hips. We did a lot of hip hinge work over the course of our Yards and Years program. So you guys look so good in your movements. I'm so proud of you. Keep it up, so hopefully you understand how this feels with your body. We've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds and rest. Woo. We're going back to shoulders. So in 20 seconds, we're gonna do T pulses. Let's see, we'll do T pulses to I pulses. So we're going T's, and then we'll go up. T's, and then up. Woo. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna go T's, up and down. T's, you come into an I. So T, in, I, out. Sort of this, almost kind of like a weird rainbow move. But what I'm trying to get from you is some retraction here. And then up here, we're getting, again, I want you to keep those shoulder blades, shoulders down. They're not in the ears of how long my neck is. Again, if this is tough for you, this is kind of lower impact. If you want to continue to move, that's okay too. Anything that kind of works for you. I always tell everybody in my classes, this is your program. This is really for you. All right, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, that was kind of a little bit of a hard one. We're gonna rest for 20 and we're going back to those pop squats. Second round here, guys. You guys are rock stars. After this one, we're gonna stretch a little bit. Awesome, and we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go, squat and punch. So again, not a real deep squat if you don't want to, but I want you to try to keep the body nice and neutral. And again, pivot those toes, the back foot, right? So when you come to your back swing or your follow through, I pivot to try to get my hips around so that my ball is going in the right direction, although most of the times it's going to the right. Yeah, so I want you to just pivot and squeeze that glute so that you have that ability to round and power with those glutes. Awesome, guys, hang in there. Got 20 seconds. Woo. Punch, punch. Inhale and exhale. Keep big breathing, guys. We've got 12 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and rest. Whew. Nice. All right, in 20 seconds, we've got that side lunge with the tricep, right? So we're going side lunges to either side, and we're keeping the shoulders fixed. So we're just hinging from the elbows. This is our last exercise in the circuit, so let's make it a good one. Give it all you got. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here you go, lunge and kick. We want to try to keep those arms close to your body. My arms are not out here. My shoulders are down. My flaps are down and in. So long neck, low shoulders, and just kick. Kick. So it's not a bicep move as much for me as I'm really extending my elbows out in the back and I'm squeezing my triceps. Trying to think whose swing I was watching, and holy cow, his triceps were popping. It was awesome. So you know that you need a lot of upper body strength. So combined with all this glute work and cardio that we're doing, you guys should be in really good position to get out there and hit them really well when we get back to normal. All right, guys, we got 10 seconds here. And we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Shake it out. Grab some water. All right. We're going to cool it down. So what I want you to do is take those arms, if you can, clasp them behind your back. If you can't, then just maybe try to, sort of place them together, or just put them on your butt. Essentially what I want you to do is open up the chest. So open up your chest and let's do some head rolls. As long as this feels okay for you, big head rolls. I love this because we're opening up the chest. I'm dropping my shoulders. And I'm getting really big neck rolls. So each time I go side to side, really opening up the muscles in my neck, my sternocleidomastoid. Really good. Go in the opposite direction if you haven't already. Get about 3 more rotations here. We're going to go top of our body down to our lower body. Good. Okay. So now we're going to do cross legs. So I want you right over left. And I want you to take your right hand with your left, and I want you to pull towards the left. So we're in this really nice big C curve. If you can, look underneath that right armpit. Open up those lats. Open up that hip. Breathe into that belly. 3, 2, 1. Let's stretch it to the other side. Left over right. Left hand in your right. Pull, stretch, and lean. Lean those hips if you can to your left, and look underneath that armpit. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Okay. Number 3, let's do hug the tree, right? So we're going to do a little kind of pelvic tilting here. So I want you to hug a tree, right? I want you to drop your pelvis back. I want you to really round, like we are in our cow, like our cat-cow, right? And then I want you to come forward and arch like we're in, well, this would be our cow, so the other one would be our cow. So we've got cat, cow.
Drew, when you're doing it, don't sit your hips back as much. Stay taller and try to go that way. It's almost like squeeze your butt cheeks at the top and then reach. There you go. There you go. Good. Yeah. So instead of when you're doing it sitting back, actually squeeze, come the other way, this way, as opposed to doing this.
All right, good. Now the last one, you may need a little bit of a balance. If you have that golf club or a wall or a chair or Greg, you got your bookcase there. Roger, you've got your railing. So I want to do a little figure 4 pose, right? If you want to get down on the ground, that's totally okay too. So you know what this one is, right? So we're either down on the ground, if you want to just get down into them. Okay, turn out. So you'd be down on the ground in your supine position here. You could put your ankle over your knee and you could lay back and pull, or I wanted to try to keep us off the mats today. So if you need to hold on to something, I want you to just try to sit into that just a little bit. If you need to sit in a chair, that's totally okay too. And then you can sit in the chair and put your knee up. So I just want you to stretch into that rear hip just a little bit. Push down on that knee, open it up. Again, you can be doing this sitting in a chair, laying on the floor, or standing. Big deep breaths. Switch sides 1 or 2 times. So you're gonna really feel that kind of opening up in the hip. Good. 3 deep breaths. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Awesome, guys. Woohoo! Good job today.